Johann carefully measured the various liquids and other substances, which was part of his daily duties as part of the research and development team in the Elven Kingdom. Being able to work in the department was something he greatly enjoyed, considering how much respect others showed him. Growing up, Johann was not well liked by others, who considered him weird and creepy. His mother was often sick and couldn't move around easily, so Johann did his best in taking care of her. With caring for his mother and being considered a social outcast, Johann often found himself wishing to study at the Elven Academy of Research and Technology and rise up in the ranks to someone that was respected. Lucky for him, Johann was born with a strong intellect. This allowed him to open his own shop where he sold tools and gadgets he created. When he wasn't taking care of his mother, he was in the Elven Forest finding new materials for his creations. The forest was one of the most resource-rich locations in the entire continent, making it a great place for him to experiment. He remembered a day when he was working at his shop, and a passing teacher at the academy noticed his products. Realizing the potential that Johann had and understanding the financial difficulties of his situation, the teacher offered to sponsor him. Sponsorships were only provided to those who demonstrated great potential, allowing a student to waive all related expenses in the academy. Feeling so happy about being offered with this life-changing event, Johann ran back to his house to tell his mother. "Mother, I have finally done it! I was given a sponsorship to the academy. The teacher said I could take you along. We won't have to struggle every day. I'll be able to provide you with the life you deserve." He couldn't wait to see his mother's expression at this news. Racing towards the bed his mother laid on, Johann stopped dead in his tracks at the sight of his mother's still body. He ran towards the bed and tried to wake up his mother. "Mother, you need to wake up. Didn't you hear me? I was accepted into the academy. Everything will be better. No longer will your son be someone that everyone ignores. I'll become someone that you can be proud of." He shook his mother, trying to get her to open her eyes. As she laid there, he could only see her peaceful face. It was just like the days when she didn't fall with the sickness. Johann could feel the tears rolling down his face as he clenched his teeth, feeling the sorrow building up from within. I was finally going to show my mother the life that she deserved. No longer was I going to be an outcast, and my mother was going to see how amazing her son was. He growled through his clenched teeth. Our neighbors and their bratty kids would know how much better we are compared to them, and they would be the ones tripping over themselves to impress me. The anger and sorrow mixed together in him and exploded. Johann raised his head and roared in anger at the heavens, cursing everyone that caused his mother and him pain. "Hey, did you hear that they completed the final testing for the new weapon?" A coworker yelled out to another, pulling Johann out from that painful memory. "Those people in the Secret Operations Division are truly the elite of the Elven Kingdom. I heard that the Queen might even make an appearance at the lab. In congratulations to the people who worked on the project," a lab technician said in excitement. "Nowhere else is there as wonderful a ruler as our Queen," another technician agreed. "What do you think of this news, Johann?" Gladrisil, a friend of his in the lab, asked him. Placing down the tools he was holding, Johann turned to face her. "I think this is a momentous day for our Elven Kingdom. With this new weapon and shield, we will be able to keep our fellow citizens safe during the next overflow. With the delays, I was worried that we wouldn't be able to make it, so this is a relief." He smiled at his friend. "With rumors of people tampering in the special labs, I was worried that we would fail and cause many of our fellow countrymen to be eaten by those monsters," she said, her voice depressed at the thought. Her expression cheered up as she said, "But now we will be able to hold our head up high. The sacrifices this kingdom has made towards all of us will not have been in vain. We should celebrate this news. How about a bunch of us go to that new restaurant that opened up? I heard that the dishes there are very nice," Johann suggested, smiling at her positivity. Gledrosel blushed at Johann's offer. That would be nice. I'll stop by and change into something more comfortable. I just picked out a new dress." She shyly glanced at Johann. "I hope that it looks nice on me." "I'm sure that you'll look dazzling in it," Johann smiled at her, which made her blush even more. Arriving back home after letting the others know when they would meet up to celebrate, Johann looked at the empty room, which lacked the warmth from his childhood. Walking into his bedroom, Johann removed his lab uniform and hung it up in the closet. There were multiple uniforms that were hanging up, with only a few casual clothes he would wear when going out around the house. Heading over to his study desk, Johann picked up a portrait that was made when he was a small boy. In the picture, he could see his mother lovingly holding him in her arms with a beautiful smile on her face. This was drawn a year before she was stricken by the illness, causing her health to decline drastically. Johann remembered how she would lay with him in bed, reading his favorite children's story about the elven knight who journeyed to save the princess from the evil demon. He would try to stay awake for the entire story, but listening to his mother's voice would cause him to fall asleep. She would often call him her little elven knight. "Mother, I know that you wouldn't approve of my actions, but this world did nothing to help us until it was too late. While they were able to live their lives happily, we were forced to fend for ourselves. Not only that, we were treated worse than trash for something we had no control over. I may be selfish and thinking only for myself, but I hope that they will know the pain we went through," Johann quietly said to the image of his mother. Putting down the portrait, he reached into one of the side drawers and pulled it open. Inside was a crystal disc with demonic inscriptions on the surface. Placing it in front of him, he poured in his mana into the object. The disc glowed, and an image appeared of a beautiful woman. "Johann, it is so nice to see you again. I hope they are not making you work too hard in that lab of yours." The woman sounded concerned. Though Johann understood that he was being used, this woman made him feel like he had someone who cared for him again. She would never sound annoyed whenever he contacted her and would stay and talk with him as much as he needed. Even when he complained about the work, the woman would patiently listen to his problems and offer comforting words to soothe his pains. "I am doing fine, Lady Ash. You honor me with your concerns too much," he said, already feeling better after hearing her voice. "Nonsense. Though you have been helping me, I already feel like you are part of my family. What is a family if not something to rely on when you are feeling down? You are always welcome to contact me, even if you need someone to talk to. I am always here and enjoy hearing about your day." Lady Ash comforted him. She looked at him with curiosity and asked, "Is there something the matter, Johann?" Johann looked at her and frowned, saying, "Lady Ash, I have information for you. The Secret Operations Division just finished the final testing on the weapon and shield to use against the Overflow. I have just learned of this and wanted to let you know." Hearing the information he told her, her face darkened and reflected his own. This is not good news. After they increased security around the labs, we were unable to gain any additional information. Her face lightened up and looked at Johann. "Thank you for telling me this information. I'll be able to inform those who need to know this, and we will deal with this. It will be better for you to leave the Elven Kingdom and meet with me." Nodding his head, Johann said, "Lady Ash, though I understand that I'm only a spy being used to gather information, you have treated me with respect more than what could be said of my fellow countrymen. I understand what needs to be done and will finish the job, so you don't need to dirty your hands." He was slightly saddened by the thought of not being able to talk with her any longer, but understood that loose ends could not be left behind. "What do you mean, Johann? I'm not planning on eliminating you. The fact you are willing to go to such lengths for me shows that you are one of us. Remember, you are family." Lady Ash looked amused at his misunderstanding. Johann looked up in surprise at hearing her words. He couldn't fathom such an outcome, and tears began to roll down his face. "There is no need for tears, my elven knight," Lady Ash's soothing voice whispered to him.